There are plenty of days where I don't feel like training. I'm tired, I'm busy, I could justify skipping it. But discipline isn't about how you feel, it's about who you've decided to be. Welcome back to the Hybrid Athlete Dad Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the difference between being busy and being disciplined. Now, before I dive into today's episode, I like to go over anything that I think that you may find beneficial, interesting when it comes to fitness, when it comes to nutrition, or anything with life in general. So, diving into today's episode, we got a few inches of snow on the ground today. Wasn't sure when I got up how I was going to be going to the gym in the morning. Wasn't sure how the roads were going to be clear or not. I live about 6.5 miles from the gym, but luckily we probably got about 2 inches of snow out there. This morning when I went to the gym, probably about 3 to 4 inches total. So not too bad, but got in the car. I was like, okay, not too bad. We can make it. Went pretty slow to the gym, but made it. Got my workout in. There's probably 2 or 3 other people in there getting their workout in. So I was happy to get that done this morning. I wasn't sure whether I was going to have to wait till later in the day, depending on if we got, say, 6 inches, 12 inches, whatever. The forecast is really all over the map. So excited to be able to get that workout in this morning. And then comes the tough part, running. I got a 5-mile run, 5-mile loops, or 5-mile loop that I do on Mondays. I have pretty set in my ways of the days on which I do certain runs just to make it easier. That way I don't have to think about it. And just went out and did it, and it was not it wasn't enjoyable. But just because it wasn't enjoyable doesn't mean I wasn't going to get it done. I probably slipped at least 10 times out there. I was running the first part, probably about, quarter mile into the 5-mile run, so basically just starting it. And I was running on the side of the road, and there was a drain there that I couldn't see, and the drain went down about 2 inches, and just rolled the ankle pretty good on that, but just kept going. That was not enjoyable. The wind was pretty fierce. The snow was still coming down. The wind was just blowing all the snow in my face. It was blowing it from across the road into my face. I had this one point of the road where I have to run up a hill. It's probably the hardest part of the run. I get to the top of the hill. There's 2 plows coming, one each way. Okay, let me just hop to the side of the road. No problem. Wouldn't you know that there's a little ditch there, and I am now down up to my knees in snow, just waiting for the plows to go by. And obviously, I'm just wearing sneakers, so all the snow gets on them. So it wasn't an enjoyable experience. I think I still went about 8:45ish, maybe a little under, but went out, got it done. Sucked, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes I wish it would be, say, 50 and sunny, 45 and sunny, 40 and sunny. That would be ideal weather for me, but I know that it's not always going to be like that. So went out there, got it done. Sucked, but sometimes that's just the way it is when you're dealing with the elements, especially when you're living in New York or back when I was living back in the Northeast. So diving into today's episode, which again is the difference between being busy and being disciplined. A common phrase I hear when talking to someone is, I've just been busy. Oh, have you started going to the gym? I've been busy. Have you started your business? I've been busy. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. And the reality is that busy doesn't always mean productive. Busy can mean that you're reacting to certain situations, whereas being disciplined is you're executing intentionally and you're not getting dragged around by all these tasks that may come up in the day. And I realize that as a father, I don't have unlimited time anymore, and that discipline is the multiplier of which allows me to get ahead in my life when it comes to fitness, when it comes to business, when it comes to nutrition, and when it comes to being a father. Now, being busy feels productive, but it often isn't. The key characteristics of being busy are constantly switching tasks, always feeling behind, reacting to notifications, emails, and interruptions, not having any clear priorities, and it just makes it a little bit easier to justify skipping training. And by being busy, this shows up in being a father in your training by saying you'll train later, but guess what? Later never comes. I'll go for that run later. I'll go for that workout later. Life gets busy. That's why I like to get it done early in the morning if possible, because life happens. Never is one day going to be the same as the previous day. You're filling your time with low impact tasks, emails, checking social media, tasks that may seem productive in the moment, but aren't really pushing you forward. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel mentally exhausted and you're going to realize that you didn't make any real progress because busy people fill their time where disciplined people protect their priorities. Discipline is doing what matters regardless of your mood. And what discipline actually looks like is training when motivation is low. It's waking up early before my daughter wakes up. It's keeping promises I've made to myself, and it's following structure instead of feelings. Because discipline removes decision fatigue. You don't debate whether to train, it's already been decided. I train early so I can fully show up as a dad and a husband. Because at the end of the day, discipline is what creates freedom, not restriction. Earlier in today's episode, I talked about going for this run today. I did not want to do it. Last thing I did, it sucked just as much as I thought it was going to suck. It's not fun running on snow and slush. I'm talking like freshly powdered snow and slush where it's not packed down snow. So I step by slide. I go 2 steps forward, one step back. Not enjoyable. But it's part of my discipline that I have where I don't want to run, but it's part of my routine and it's what I'm going to do. It's the standard that I hold for myself. Being busy is emotional, where discipline is identity driven. The busy mindset is, I'll do it when I have time. It's based on convenience. It's based on how you're feeling in the moment. How many times have you said, I'm going to do something, but you don't? It's not enjoyable to go out running in the snow. It's not enjoyable going up and driving to the gym in the snow in the dark. But I do it anyways because that's the discipline that I have built for myself. Because the disciplined mindset is this is who I am, these are my non negotiable standards, and I am not basing my identity on anything else other than the fact that these are the standards that I hold to myself. If I say I'm going to the gym, if I say I'm working out, if I say I'm eating healthy, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make excuses. It's easy to make excuses. There's snow on the ground. It's not easy to run. It's not easy to drive. Easy to make excuses. There's so many excuses that you can make. It's all about just putting in the work. Because I'm not trying to be a hybrid athlete dad. I am a hybrid athlete dad. And I want my actions to reflect that. Discipline compounds, where being busy resets you. When you're busy, you start, you stop, you restart, you lose progress, you repeat. We've all been there. I'm working on a task. Some email comes in, let me pop into it, let me answer that. Then the message comes in, okay, let me go answer that message. Then I try to go back to where I was in the beginning. I lose any progress that I have made. And I'm not respecting my time. I'll get to you when I get to you. Unless it's the most absolutely urgent task on this planet, someone's dying, there's a fire, then I'll get to you in the moment. If not, I don't care how long it takes me to get back to you, If I'm focused on one specific task, lifting, running, working, growing a business, then I am focused on that specific task. Because being disciplined, it's just these small, consistent actions that I'm continuing to take day after day after day after day, because this momentum builds. And when my momentum builds, my confidence builds. When I'm doing my marathon training, I'm going off and I'm doing a 12-mile run this week, then a 14-mile run, then a 16, then an 18, then a 20. And I'm just being disciplined. I'm continuing to show up, continuing to get these miles in, and I'm building that momentum. And as I build that momentum, that gives me the confidence, okay, yes, I can go out and I can finish this race, because I am showing up consistently over months and years, and consistency is what beats intensity. We can all get motivated for one moment, for a week, for a month, for a few months, maybe a year. But how about years, plural? Continuing to show up day after day, month after month, and year after year. My daughter is watching my standards. She saw me running today and she waved out the window. Their daycare is closed today due to the weather. And I realized that her watching me is bigger than fitness. My daughter sees the promises that I keep to myself, that I don't quit when things get hard. It was super hard going out there and getting that run in today. Again, it was the last thing that I wanted to do today, but I went out there and I got it done anyway. That discipline is a normal part of life. If I say I'm going to do something, I make sure that I get it done, and I don't make promises that I can't keep. I want her to model what commitment looks like, what standard looks like, and what resilience looks like. Because I am not just building my body, I'm building the example for her. I'm the one that's setting the example for her. She's looking up to me, and what is that example that I want to set for her? That it was a little dark out, that there's a little snow on the road, that I couldn't go out and get this done. No, I want her to see me putting myself in hard situations so she can see what that looks like, even though she may not realize it now. I want her, as she grows older, to put herself into hard situations and to realize that when you put yourself in a situation like running a marathon, that's very difficult and hard, but you come out the other side and you realize that was something that was uniquely hard. I came out the other side of it. Okay, now what else can I do? And you start to realize that your mind starts to limit what you can do. Oh, okay, I ran a marathon. Okay, now let me go out and run, let's say a small ultra, 30 miles. Okay, got that done. I'm going to go 50, 100. Obviously, you can continue to go up from there. But you start to realize what you thought was hard was more in your mind than anything else. And your body is way more capable of accomplishing whatever it may be, running, lifting, than what you think is possible. And I want to continue to share that example with her. Now, how do you shift from someone who's busy to someone who is disciplined? Schedule your training like a meeting. I know every day what time I'm going to be at the gym. I don't miss that meeting. I treat it as if I'm having a client call who's going to be paying me $1 million if I land the account. Well, I'm not going to miss that, would you? If you had that on the line, no, you wouldn't miss that. So why is working out any different? And by having the schedule in place, it removes the decision making. I just know this is what I do, and this is how I'm going to do it every single morning. By deciding in advance, you lower the barrier, because not every session at the gym is going to be perfect. Not every run is going to be perfect. I wish I hit a PR every time I went to the gym. I wish I hit a PR every time I ran. Sometimes It doesn't work out that way, but I'm just showing up and I'm putting in the work day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, so that that can compound over time. I don't want you to focus on the outcome in the moment. I want you to focus on being the person who shows up, that consistently goes to the gym and gets these run-ins. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, but just continue to show up. Now, I went out and I did that super hard run today. Wasn't enjoyable. Now, the next time we have a storm like this, who knows, maybe sometime in March, I'm gonna go get my 5 mile run because be like, oh, I can think back to a few weeks ago where I did this run that was absolutely so horrible, but I got it done. Now, is there really anything that's gonna stop me from running? No. And I just build that confidence from building that resilience, from building that schedule, and having those non-negotiables and those standards that I'd set for myself. And I want you to protect the non-negotiables. What's that? It's training, it's family time, and it's health. Everything else fits around that. I'm gonna have to get my training in. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and then the family time as well. You don't need more time. You need stronger standards. People stay where they are. Busy people stay where they are. Disciplined people build who they become. My daughter won't remember how busy I was. She'll remember the standards I live by, and the discipline is a standard I choose. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's episode on the difference between being busy and being disciplined, and I hope you tune into next week's episode where I discuss when hybrid training helps and when it hurts.